has held on. And what is his opponent making? He's making a lair, so finally decided to move on to the mid-game. Of course, this is extremely late. Protoss has a lot of important stuff up, including a lot of probes, this robotics facility, and 3 gateways. And when you're building up a little bit, I might like to see some more structures be added on. Just something. Could go for an additional gateway or 2. Could go for robotics bay. He might be waiting to see what his observer reports back. But this observer is just hanging out here, is not actually scouting anything. He has not gotten a good look at the Zerg base, so should be sending this observer out right away. Getting that information will help him decide what he should be doing at this point. And, of course, what he sees will probably make him very happy, which is that the Zerg doesn't really have anything going on yet. The lair is just now getting up, so we could be seeing the next step in the Zerg's plan. There we are. ChexMix has put down his Hydralisk Den. And this is consistent with what he's been doing, namely making lots of units. Of course, how many roaches does he have out? 5 roaches. 5 roaches isn't really enough to cover your Hydralisks. You want enough to really soak up a lot of damage, because those Hydralisks don't like taking damage. So we'll see if he makes some more roaches. He's also going for a spire. Wait. Oh, I think he canceled his Hydralisk Den. I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe he just thought better of it. Huh. Well, I certainly can't come up with a good reason why he canceled that, but I think it's a pretty solid decision. Going for spire in this situation is probably the best you can do. Why? Because Protoss is in better shape economically. Zerg has snuck this hatchery at the gold base, which is another good move. Of course, Protoss sharp, moving his units around the map, which is a nice move. I mean, watch out for counterattacks, but if you feel safe dealing with counterattacks, making sure to be aware of what's going on the map is important. Zerg moving out with a ton of Zerglings, though. As I was saying, counterattacks, very deadly. This ramp is not blocked. These Zerglings could run directly up here. I mean, this Stalker, whatever, this is not important. These 2 cannons, Zerg should not be going for these cannons. Zerg can just run up and kill everything right here. So, instead going to work on the probes and on the cannons. But see, these cannons are really well placed. Good force field going down. I would actually prefer to see that right here to block the Zerglings from hitting the cannon. But Ambiturnal moving his army back. And I would have to say that it seems like one of the big problems that Ambiturnal's been having in this game is these sort of... I mean, these are really risky attacks from the Zerg. I mean, these are not really good attacks, but you do need to protect against them. Otherwise, you can just lose instantly, like not blocking this ramp. It's a big problem. So Ambiturnal should definitely try to keep a more solid defense up. I mean, like maybe if you had a gateway here, for example, or a couple of gateways to delay the runaround a little bit, maybe a cannon up here. You know, there's all sorts of little adjustments you can make. Keeping a zealot, keeping a couple sentries around for more force fields. ChexMix, yeah, I think that's about it for him. Ambiturnal has taken his 3rd base, so up on bases, and that is a position Zerg does not want to be in. Harvester count, Ambiturnal still in the lead, but Zerg is pulling back. So these Mutalisks are out, but they're not doing anything, and this is absolutely critical. Okay, he's waiting for a bunch of Mutalisks. He's got 14. Excuse me, I cannot add. 12. He's got 12 Mutalisks here. Now there's 11? Anyway, there's 12 total. I stick by that. There are 12 Mutalisks out, and he needs to be moving on with these right now. As I was saying before, Spire is a great option in this situation because when you do know that your economy is so far behind your opponents, harassment is a great way out of that. And oh no, catching the slightly lean anti-air of Ambiturnal, it's good enough though. That Guardian Shield, great against Mutalisks. ChexMix loses a ton of Mutalisks, and that's game over because he needed those Mutalisks to harass here and kill probes. Notice there are no cannons up. He could have killed a ton of probes and just gone in and out here with those probes. He has a great line of defense set up. Protoss is not going to break this anytime soon. So ChexMix really needed those Mutalisks for harassment. Engaging with them head-on was a big mistake. That is not what Mutalisks are for. They should not ever take damage if you can avoid it. They are for being quick and harassing and getting map control. Now, Zerg really needs to, several minutes ago, have been knocking down these rocks and taking this third base. He had made this interesting choice taking this gold expansion, and while I don't dislike that, it's a little bit like betting your opponent won't see it. And that's okay to do if you're behind, but sometimes you really want to just play solidly and take your next base and move on, because, again, as you see, if he does see this base, he's going to kill it immediately. And Zerg even going to re-expand there, so not even going to try to expand here. Protoss's army is positioned all the way to the side of the map, and I don't know if I like that positioning very much because, well, because this can happen. ChexMix is continuing to be pretty good with these attacks. I mean, even though ChexMix has been having a lot of... losing a lot of Zerglings there and not killing anything. He could have taken out all of these cannons pretty easily, but he's going to run down here and run some more units. But he's given Ambiturnal plenty of time to come back. Really should have thought about just taking out all these cannons and shutting down this base, because as it is, these Zerglings are not going to do that much. A lot of them have been killed by cannon fire and these units, so that was actually a loss for ChexMix, even though his strategic decision was good to take advantage of the misplaced army of Ambiturnal, and now Ambiturnal is angry and is going to go take out this hatchery again. So what went wrong here for ChexMix? Well, he just made too many units early on. He just didn't have any real economy going, whereas Ambiturnal did a really nice job applying early pressure, getting... I don't know how ChexMix usually plays, but a little bit of taking the Lord's name in vain here. Lowdy lowdy. Oh my, getting his infestation pit, double infestation pits up. So, is this a sign of nerves getting to him? Just might be. Anyway, so Zergs really do need to build up that economy early on, and you need to respond appropriately to Protoss pressure. You can't overreact and just make a ton of units and hope you can go kill him with those units. Although some really nice aggression from ChexMix, I just thought a lot of the execution was really subpar, not running up that ramp, deciding to go take out these cannons that were tucked away. And no, sentries do not hard counter mutas. Well, so this is interesting. Let's see if they still have this. If you look in the Zerg unit tree at Mutalisks, okay, that is interesting. In the beta, they had weak against sentries for the Mutalisk. So I guess they fixed that probably when they started making sentries do no damage. But anyway, that Guardian Shield, of course, very good. But problem, ChexMix, is not that sentries hard counter mutas. The problem is that mutas are not fighting units. That is not what you should be thinking about using them for. So anyway, hope that this analysis was helpful to you, to all of you, and continue to submit replays if you are interested in getting my opinion on them. And leave comments. If this was a good thing to see, let me know. If this was horrible, let me know. If I stutter a lot or there's just something you don't like about my attitude, let me know also, because that's still useful information for me to take into account in making these the best casts possible. So, I'm going to move on from this, and this is modulistack saying bye now.